So how is everything now compared to when the lockdown was first announced? Like how's like the people, the crowd control and everything? 2, 1. What is up, travelheads? I'm your host Brian from LifeOfBD, and welcome to Talk with BD. Today's guest is a YouTuber who recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations! And he lives in Japan. Today we're gonna talk about life in Japan before and during COVID-19. You guys heard it firsthand from me. I'm excited to speak to someone based in Japan because I have plans on moving out there next year. So y'all heard it first. But yeah, without further ado, Patrick.
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. Ignore my dog shaking in the background.
Yeah, thanks for getting on. You know, I know it's early in the morning. Sorry about that, but we made it work.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, all right. Hey, Pat. So tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Patrick, and as you mentioned, I live out here in Japan. I own a media company called Tech Ninja Productions, where I freelance. But as I'm sure you and your viewers already know, it's really not the best time to be a freelancer right now, like anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I get that. How's Japan going right now?
Well, the food, thankfully, is still good. So, that's still a win right there. But overall, I would say things appear better than they actually are.
Okay, yeah, that's good. But yeah, so you live relatively close to Tokyo. What's the city called, by the way?
So I live in a city called Yokosuka. It's about like 45 minutes to an hour to Tokyo, depending on if I'm listening to Taylor Swift or not on the train. So, yeah.
Okay. So you live 45 minutes away from Tokyo. How's everything during the start of COVID-19 out there, like in Tokyo? Because it's like the packest city out there. It's like their Times Square. And how is it in your city also?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would honestly say that things started off really slow. There was a lot of head scratching going on because people were wondering how are our leaders still pushing things like the Olympics to happen when clearly the rest of the world is struggling on what to do with this whole, COVID situation. This was before it was even called a pandemic. And we would see on the news like, hey, the other countries are testing. How come we're not testing? And so, yeah, that was pretty much how it started here in Japan. It didn't seem like until after several countries said, hey, we're not coming to your Olympics. That's when Tokyo finally decided, okay, you know what, let's postpone and let's go ahead and slowly start testing people.
Talking about the Olympics, do you think it's gonna happen in 2021 or?
Well, just my personal opinion with how Japan is handling this, I don't think it's gonna happen. I've lived in Japan now for close to 19, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And I've witnessed parts of Japan, a side of Japan, that I'm not familiar with. I'm not used to Japan not taking care of its citizens. Okay. I'm not used to any of this.
So how is everything now compared to when the lockdown was first announced? Like how's like the people, the crowd control and everything?
Well, originally, we actually just finished our cherry blossom season, and it just so happened that cherry blossom season, as you may know, is one of the most popular times to travel around Japan. There were massive crowds everywhere. The government was not enforcing a lockdown. They were just saying like, hey, you guys should consider staying indoors. And obviously, if you don't enforce something, then no one's going to listen. So everyone was out and about. Nobody cared. You would see on the local news, teenagers and like the younger audience were saying, well, if or they would say things like, well, according to the news, you can only get it. You can only die if you are old. Yeah. So since I'm not old, I'm still gonna go out. Like they would admit that on the news. So there was just really a lack of information. But I mean, other than that, things like not being able to stop crowds from gathering or keeping test numbers down, and actually reports of how kindergartens had teachers that tested positive.
Whoa.
And when they told their local government this, the government told the teachers, don't tell the parents, stay operational, and just don't tell anyone. Thankfully, the school administration came forth And when this news leaked, the government was cornered and said, why did you tell this kindergarten to stay active when they told you their teacher was positive? And the government was like, oh, you're right, sorry, we shouldn't have done that. I mean, you can read all this online from factual sources. There's cases of where hospitals are requiring their nurses to stay working despite testing positive themselves. And when they ask the hospital, why are you making this nurse work when she herself is positive, and their excuse is, well, if she doesn't work, then we'll be shorthanded.
Okay.
So yeah, things like that. And if I may add one more thing, I mean, Okinawa, a popular tourist destination, they were begging 60,000 tourists to not come during Golden Week, which is this week actually.
Yeah.
And obviously the tourists don't care, and so it's things where like, dude, why Okinawa? Why was your airport even open to tourists? So small things like this. I feel I've known the difference when things just happen, or when things are lack of preparation, and so a lot seems to be lack of preparation.
Okay, yeah, that caught me off guard, because to be honest, I thought Japan is one of the countries that is handling it way better than most countries. I mean, you see the news on America, right? It's pretty bad, but I have not seen any news on Japan. Like, I thought, like, I'm looking at the John Hopkins page on seeing the cases. Japan doesn't look like they're spreading as fast, but
yeah. So I also work on the U.S. military base here at Yokosuka, and the differences are so vast, because while I work on base as another one of my jobs, security is tight. You cannot get on base without a face mask. You cannot get on base if you are not required to be on base. And yet off base, everything is super chill. So Japan is really keeping the numbers low. You can even, if I may add one more fact or story to this, there are local funeral homes unfortunately receiving bodies where the cause of death is blank. And the government is telling hospitals not to put COVID-19. So the funeral homes are like, we don't know how to treat this body. We don't know if we need to cremate it or what, we don't know the security for this. So there's a lot of hush-hush. There's a lot of palms being greased going around. And like you said, if you can't see a lot of news about Japan, it's because they're doing, unfortunately, a really great job of putting a lot of smoke.
Okay. Yeah, I think China is kind of doing the same thing, right? Because their numbers like just cut off. Like, there's no cases at all, and there's no way that I don't believe that at all. As much as I would like that to happen, that's not the case. China is like it's has a lot more people than America.
Exactly. Actually, every now and then, I go online and read some of the local reports, and one of the reports just said, hey, congratulations everyone, we the results from Friday, we have less than 100 positive cases today. And you think like, oh, that's good, it sounds like we're starting to flatten the curve. But then when you read about how many tests they've done, they've only done 100 tests.
Yeah.
So it's like, that means nothing then.
Yeah, America is doing a lot of tests, but at the same time, America's all over the news for not the best thing, like,
yeah.
You heard of the Florida cases where people just want to hit the beaches and stuff, and people are actually doing that. It's like 80 degrees right now, so people are out at the beaches. I'm like, I'm not trying to go to no beach right now.
Oh, yeah. Man,
beaches are opening up. I think Florida right now, they're all open up, or most part of Florida. It's like, it's crazy to see all that happen. Like, but yeah, I mean, I'm just surprised with Japan, like how they're handling this. Like, I really thought that they would be on top of the game compared to all these other countries. I thought they were one of the number ones, But,
brother, you and me both. I am, again, I've lived here for almost all my life, and I am just as surprised as you.
Yeah. And also, I want to touch up on like the streets in San Francisco. I know, because I live just across the bridge from San Francisco, 10-15 minute drive for me. So when the lockdown first happened, the first 2 weeks, it was just really empty. Like, I've never seen that empty. I didn't go out there, but I seen drone shots from other people. Like, I've never seen the street this empty. And then you see clips of Times Square in New York, you never see it empty, Was it like that in Japan also, or like Tokyo? Do you know? Because I didn't see no clips.
It didn't get like that until now. It just kind of started being like that. One of my friends is a really well established photographer. His name's Akira. He actually took some great photos, and yeah, the streets were empty. Places like Shibuya Crossing, it was empty, but also at the same time, a lot of Japan is not, you know how Japan has a title of being like, oh, so technologically advanced,
Yes.
blah blah blah. Unfortunately, a lot of jobs still can't work from home. I mean, things like still relying on fax machines, things like relying on a hanko stamp, which is a stamp that serves as kind of like your official signature. So much of, Japan's always known as a place where tradition meets the future, but sometimes they get so caught up in their tradition that when something like this happens, when there's an order to work from home, people have no choice but to still go to work, to still get on crowded trains, because they are unable to work from home.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But whoa, like to hear that you just told me that they just started taking safety precautions, it's kind of crazy. So I was like, I really wonder how the cases are out there. Like, I had a feel.
Let me give you, if I may, let me give you one more ridiculous example, and you find a lot of these examples on like Japanese Twitter. I'll send you some screenshots or something that you can use. Like they will, a place like a pachinko will post or will have a sign on their front door saying like, due to COVID-19, we will only have half of our lights on.
What's a pachinko, by the way?
Oh, sorry. A pachinko is like a slot machine place, like a lottery place. Yeah, exactly, a casino. So it's like, what the heck does having half of your lights turned on have anything to do with the spread of COVID? You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's so many ridiculous stores like that. It's just like, Japan doesn't know what to do about it.
Yeah, I never heard of that one. I want to save my lecture bill.
Exactly.
Okay, so in some ways, the way I'm hearing it is, you don't think Japan took the proper steps to prevent the coronavirus, huh?
If we were to compare it to other countries, I would say no, unfortunately.
Okay.
Again, this is my personal opinion, but I feel like so much more could have been done. If they actually care.
Definitely.
Let me speaking of that, let me go ahead and give you some examples of how they are handling it. Our prime minister decided to send out 2 masks to every family in all of Japan. So if you have a family of 6 people, you will still only get 2 masks. So he was being ridiculed online because people were saying like, hey, I have a family of 5. What are we supposed to do? Fight for this mask that you're giving out? And when the masks were received, they were moldy, they were too small. And let's see what else is there. The government even tried to push some stimulus checks that were only available to locals. They specifically said this will not be available to foreigners. So even if you've lived in Japan all your life, been paying all your taxes, you would not receive. If this had passed, you would not have been supported during this crazy time.
Oh, okay.
And so Japan just seemed to do a lot of backwards thinking when it comes to this. And you think like, this is the country that was supposed to host the Olympics,
right?
And suddenly, this virus or this virus support is only available to Japanese people. Like, what?
Yeah, I know I'm saying I'm surprised many times, but I really am surprised about all this.
Dude, no worries. Happening. Yeah.
But what type of masks were they giving out? N95 or just regular surgical?
It was just a cotton reusable mask. There was no certification. There's actually, I'll also send you a screenshot about this.
Okay.
He himself was wearing the mask, and it was the mask had no certification. It was just a cotton mask with no official like N95 rating or anything like that.
I didn't hear anything on the media about Japan like not being one of those that are not being safety about it, because you hear Korea at the time with the church was when it all spread, and now they're all calm, but Japan, like, coverage on the media, that's just like, that's scary, because you know Japan's one of those high-tech companies, but what are the other companies that aren't as like advanced as Japan? What are they really doing, and what are they really hiding, you know? So that's the scary part. But yeah, as a content creator, lockdown can be difficult for people like us, you know, we're content creators. We can't go out to shoot, but the lockdown brings out another creative side of us. Like for me, I started doing podcasts because I had this Yeti mic that I just bought right before the lockdown. It was supposed to be for narration purpose, but sitting in my bed, I'm just looking at it like, dang, lockdown, I can't shoot. What am I gonna do? And I seen my mic brand new next to me, and I'm like, I've always wanted to do a podcast. I'm actually gonna do it this time. I didn't think I could do it, but I'm nailing it. And look at me now. I'm doing a podcast with guests from Japan. It's pretty dope.
Do your thing, homie. Do your thing.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the sides that brought out of me during this pandemic and this lockdown. As a content creator, for you, do you feel like it brought out another side of you during this lockdown?
You know, absolutely. I would have to say both from the content and honestly just as a person. To answer your question, something I'm currently trying to work on is like learning how to draw. You know, as a videographer and a photographer, it's difficult to convince a client on if you're the only one who can see the image.
Yeah.
Things like screenplays are you know, it's very vital to be able to draw decently. Yeah. I can't even draw stick figures, and my birds still look like the M's from McDonald's. Okay. But other than that, I'm also trying to work on things I never really paid attention to, like kind of like my fitness. Mm-hmm. Like now in the mornings, to do, man, let me try to do a few push-ups here and there. Okay. So I think overall this lockdown has brought out dude, I'm cooking a lot, man. I'm learning a lot about cooking. Okay. So yeah, nice.
Where's that food channel at?
I know, right? Yeah. One day.
Or at least put up a TikTok account for that. You know, TikTok's blowing up. They had their 1 billion upload. That's crazy, right? During this pandemic.
Oh my goodness. Like, wow. Yeah. You know what it is crazy? Like you said, even people that are not really known as creatives, they're dropping some dope stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I have some friends who are just picking up again for the first time just because they have nothing to do. And it's nice to see the world as creative as it is right now, despite what's going on.
Yeah. I really believe that. It's like when you're pushed against the wall, it's like, you know, you're just so bored. What are you going to do? You know, there's always reading book, there's fitness, and there's just, you could just be creative. It's like, just get something going, you know, not trying to say anything bad about anyone, but yeah, sure. There's so much time, and, you know, I don't say that you should be doing something creative and stuff, because, you know, there's people out there that's stressed out with the bills and everything now, which is understandable. But yeah, anyways, I plan on moving to Japan next year. That's a plan.
Nice.
Just for a few months. That's if everything goes according to plan. And I have a lot of questions to ask you about Japan, like,
sure,
if you don't mind me asking a few, like,
absolutely, fire away, brother.
So I was like, so want to let everyone know that's the first time I broke the news about me wanting to move to Japan, and I do have plans on moving out there next year if everything goes according to plan. But yeah, you guys heard it first, my viewers. But like, when's the best month to move out there as a content creator?
You know, that's a great question. And, you know, when you said what's the best month for me, I would have said like one of the winter months, because I love snowboarding. But as a content creator, I would definitely recommend like spring. Actually around this time is probably best. Things like cherry blossom season, and so once you get to Japan, dude, the bullet train can take you anywhere you want to go. Okay. You want to see those winter monkeys in the sauna? Boom, bullet train. Ooh. You want to travel to Osaka and see those like that famous guy on the billboard sign? Boom, bullet train. And like I mentioned, Kyoto during cherry blossom season, which just finished. Oh man, so yeah, I definitely recommend springtime to come visit if you're looking for some dope shoots.
Okay, so when is your seasonal spring and stuff?
Yeah, so I would say the beginning of this month, entire last month. I would say April. April's a good time. Yeah, April. April, May, March, February. That whole time, sorry.
So it sounds just like America, because spring really starts in mid-March to like May-ish, and then summer hits next.
Right, like right before the typhoon season, which is coming up now for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great time. Once the rainy season, I mean, before that, Once the rainy season / typhoon season hits, you'll be stuck indoors a lot, just because the rain's coming at you from every direction. The wind won't stop. So yeah.
Oh, so because our season is fall, and then winter, and then spring, and then summer. So you guys are spring and then winter, basically?
No, we do have a long summer, but it's incredibly humid, really humid. I don't recommend, unless you're going somewhere cool like Okinawa, where there's a ocean, a beautiful beach in every direction. Then that's when I recommend coming to Japan in the summer. Otherwise, you will be hit with the most ridiculous humidity you've ever felt in your life. But I've
been around Southeast Asia. I think I know what you're talking about when it comes to that humid weather, that 90-degree weather where I have to change my outfit 3 times in one day.
Absolutely. Like you will just finish taking a shower and you'll feel like you have to take another shower, because while you're wiping off the shower, you are already sweating. So
yeah, I want to move out there just for a few months to experience it. It's one of those once in a lifetime thing. I want to move to
absolutely, man.
Different countries.
Let me know. I'll show you around, and start. I think you should start putting your list together of places you want to hit, and let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have a bucket list of everything for the next 4 to 6 months that I plan on moving out there. In a way, I'm more comfortable having my first country to move into is an Asian country, and I've been all around Southeast Asia and Asia in general. So I feel like I could relate better. I feel like Japan would be my first option, and then after that go home for a few months and then go back out.
Dude, that sounds awesome, man. I can't wait to see everything that you're gonna do, man.
Yeah, I'm excited, but at the same time, this pandemic, we don't have a indefinite time zone, I'm pretty sure I won't be traveling at all this year due to the pandemic, but in terms of next year, if I'm trying to be out here in Japan for like 4 to 6 months, I don't want to be there too much during the rainy season, because it's hard.
It's not fun.
I'm here to shoot content, not on a daily basis, to explore, I want to see all the exotic stuff,
Yeah, for sure.
Different type of Kit Kat bar is exotic to me.
You will love cherry blossoms.
I look forward to cherry blossom season, but at the same time, that's in like a year from now. We don't know. I don't know for sure if it's gonna happen. But yeah, it seems like that is the time to come, like March, February-ish, right? Like
yeah, absolutely. The weather is still great, perfect for us to go around e-boarding. It won't be so hot that will be sweltering, but it will be just cool enough. And they have all sorts of festivals going on. There's the famous fertility festival, which goes by another name. I won't drop it on your podcast, but
I'm really surprised. We got quite a bit in common, don't you think?
I was for real. I was creeping through your Facebook too, and I was like, man, this guy e-boards. He's a camera guy. I mean, this guy's literally the version of me in the States.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun to go around with you. I'm pretty sure there's a lot in common, like just to be boosted boarding around and shooting content. That's pretty dope, to be honest.
Dude, I so look forward to it, man.
For first few months, I want to be out near, like every other tourist. I've never been to Japan, so I do want to be near Tokyo, but I know it's really expensive out there, right?
It really depends on the area. If you could, when you say Tokyo, a lot of people think Tokyo as in like, oh, it's this city smack dab right here. No, Tokyo is massive. I have friends who live in Tokyo, and they're still several hours away from each other.
Oh, wow.
So Tokyo is massive. So if you were to stay on if you stay kind of like on the outskirts of the city using like booking.com or something, you can find reasonable places.
Yeah.
And I mean, Japan does a great job with the tourist side, thankfully. So it's not super expensive to where you'll be struggling every day, but at the same time, you can't be going to those $90 sushi places every night, once in a while. Yeah. Perfect. But overall, I think you'll have a great time here.
In terms of neighborhood, how are the neighborhoods out there? Like, because I live in Oakland, it's not the best neighborhood where I live. But sure. I was wondering, how is Japan? Because I heard that there's not many like neighborhood where it's like, you get robbed or gun pointed, stuff like that. Like, how is it out here in Oakland?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, let me go ahead and start by saying that there's crime everywhere, Yeah. But I will also say that Japan has an incredibly low crime rate. I mean, everyone, polices themselves, and I've never had anything stolen from me. I've had incidences, and my friends have incidents, and I'm sure you've read it online of people losing their wallet, yeah, and not finding it for 2 weeks, and then later on it will get turned into them, or they'll find it in like a lost and found, and it has all the money in it. Everything's inside. I've had like situations where somebody knocked my bike over, and they left 1,000 yen in which is like $10, okay, saying, "Hey, sorry, I knocked your bike over."
Wow.
Like no one does that. You know what I'm saying?
You're not gonna have that in California, or not even in the States. You're not gonna have nothing like that. Okay, so
yeah. So crime is not a thing to worry about out here.
So even living in the outskirts of Tokyo is. You're perfectly fine. I could walk around with my camera bag and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, always be smart in any city. But I would say if there's a country where you're going to lose something and hope to get it back, it's gonna be Japan. There's times where I'm on a shoot and I'm like, man, I can't carry my boosted board in there. Let me just leave it right here real quick. And yeah, I'll be gone for like 40 minutes to come back. My boosted board's in the exact same spot. Wow. If it is moved, they moved it to like a safer location. And I mean, another example is I've given my friend my bicycle to have, because after I got my board, I didn't need a bicycle anymore. So I gave my friend my bicycle. 2 days later, my bicycle showed up at my doorstep, and it turns out the cops recognized that bike doesn't belong there, so they picked it up and moved it back to my house. The cops did that.
Wow.
Well, I know, right? So yeah,
you're not gonna get any of that out here. That's a surprise. See, it makes me smile because I'm like, wow, that's the place to live in. Like I do want to experience all this.
It's really nice. I'm sure once you get here, whatever positive stories you've heard, whatever heartwarming stories you've heard about Japan, I would venture to say that it's true.
Okay, yeah. Tell me a little, the anime, I'm a huge Naruto fan. Not Boruto, I don't watch Boruto, but I watch Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon. I used to watch Pokemon. Like, how's the anime out there? That's the country of anime, right?
Yeah, man. You will lose your when you go to Akihabara. Akihabara here, Electric Town, again, also in Tokyo. It's like you said, it's the anime capital of the world. You can't go 2 feet without seeing another figurine for sale or Pokemon. I mean, they have like little Magikarps for sale on the street that are like chocolate you can bite into. Wow. I myself, I'll be honest, I've never seen a lot of anime. The only one I watch is like Initial D. That's like the only one I know. Yeah. But I have a lot of friends that come to visit, and they're like, "Yo, same thing. Like, I want to see where it's at." I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I know where it's at. Okay. I'll take you, bro. That's awesome.
You. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, talking about rent. So if you're talking about renting a studio or so, 1 bedroom or so, how much do you think the price will range in the outskirts of Tokyo?
Okay, well, that is a great question. Let me speak from personal experience. I have friends who live maybe like the middle outskirts of Tokyo. So not like the outskirts, but like the middle.
Okay, the middle
And
outskirts sounds good too.
Yeah. So they would pay, I would venture to say, maybe like 1,200 a month for a little studio room. It's a very humble studio room. Since I live like 45 minutes out of Tokyo, I'm very lucky. I have 2 floors, and I'm allowed my dog. Sorry that you hear him walking around. I have a parking spot, and I get all this for only $700.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I mean, it really just depends on your neighborhood. I'm like the youngest person on this neighborhood, and I'm not even that young. I just turned 30,
Okay.
but I know for a fact, like, I'm the only one skateboarding in this neighborhood. I'm the only American. So it really just depends on the neighborhood. Oh, and I would also like to add the fact that Japanese people are really superstitious. So if somebody dies in an apartment or in a studio, they will sell it for like half off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So if you're not like a superstitious person, or you don't really mind that kind of thing, then you can definitely get some deals.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm not superstitious, but just don't tell me that someone died there, you know? I'll just buy it and not, you know.
Yeah, if you see it for like stupid cheap, then there's probably a reason why they're selling it for that cheap. It's because no Japanese person will,
Okay.
you know, will stay there.
As long as I don't see the Grudge or the Ring or none of that, then we're good, you know, we're good.
Right. Asian ghosts are the worst.
Yeah, so the food out there, man, it's like, I don't personally eat raw sushi. I don't really like the texture, but I'm pretty sure if I ever go to Japan, I'm gonna like the raw sushi there.
Yeah, so I mean, the quality of sushi here in Japan, especially when we go to the places that I'm gonna take you, man, it will move you away from, you know, I know like a lot of Americans enjoy like California rolls and stuff like that.
Lion
And
King
like,
roll.
yeah, exactly. The food quality here is good. Even at like a local gas station, at a local convenience store, it's not like an American gas station where the sushi is like, you really shouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
Here, you can go to almost any restaurant and you'll find the sushi quality, the quality of noodles, the quality of the broth and the rice. Like everything's there's a standard. Yeah, exactly, authentic. So it's nice.
Okay. But the price is not the best, right? It's not.
There's definitely some. So I live on a pretty humble budget, you know, a beginner freelancer like me. I live like a college student, you know. I kind of only save up for when the friends really want to go out and splurge and stuff like that. But other than that, I would say that I'm pretty blessed to eat well on my basic budget,
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
So yeah, again, the quality food here is really good.
Yeah, I do plan on going out there and trying out food all the time, but I know it's gonna slow down there, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to, because I see my bank account going down. I'm like, okay, I gotta take it slow. It's like maybe only the weekends or some days, at least on lunchtime, I probably gotta cut that budget a little. But yeah,
yeah, here, I mean, if you have 500 to 700 yen, so $5 to $7, you'll get a legit meal, like, you know, vegetables on the side, rice. It's a, you know, it's nice that there's that extravagant stuff if you want it, but at the same time, that's not everywhere. There's definitely some budget meals that are available for anyone to enjoy.
Okay, sounds better than Chipotle deal. But yeah, so I didn't know that you weren't born in Japan. I was wondering why your English is so good. I was like, yo, like.
Oh
what's
yeah,
up,
no.
man?
Yeah, so I was actually born. I was actually born in the Philippines.
Okay.
Grew up in the like Chicago area, and but having lived in Japan for again like 18 years because my dad was in the service, and I actually enjoyed Japan so much that I pursued my own contracts of how to stay here.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been out here ever since.
No regrets.
None.
Okay.
None.
Yeah.
You know, I love the food. I love the people. I love the music, atmosphere, and yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. Yeah, Philippines. That's where I'm supposed to be there like next week or so. But of course, the
Ooh.
pandemic. I was
Oh,
supposed to be out
right,
there for
right.
like 6 weeks or so, but
For what
everything got
project?
canceled. Huh?
You had like a project out there?
No, I just wanted to go there and just enjoy and just
Oh,
shoot my own
nice.
content. You know, just
Yeah,
like do
yeah.
my own thing there, explore the villages and like just explore the organic lifestyle of how people are living out there. Like that's what I
sure.
always want to do when I'm out of country. I don't just want to see the touristy things. I want to experience the lifestyle, the vibe out there. That's why when I was in Vietnam, I stayed there for a whole month because I want to, you know, like experience it all. I stayed in like people's house, locals' house, like my friends' family's house, just to see how it is, and the villages, all that stuff. So that's what I
That
want
sounds
to do.
amazing.
Yeah, even in Japan. So I know that, you know, Tokyo isn't really, you're not getting that same feel, right? Unless you're
Well,
like
I mean,
outskirts.
yeah, you would definitely get the Tokyo life feel.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd probably be out every night at Shibuya Crossing, just hanging with people and people watching, because that's what everyone does.
Ooh.
They will hang out at Shibuya Crossing, and they'll just drink some chuhai, some beers, and people watch. And on the weekends, it's not uncommon to see people passed out on the side of the street, because you can
really?
sleep everywhere. You can like sleep in front of a police station, and the cop will just like step over you.
We call that homeless hair. Right?
Yeah, no, we call that like a Friday night here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, and you'll see it, men, women just passed out, college kids, business people just passed out.
Okay, yeah.
Alcohol is a big culture, a big
Sake,
part of the culture here.
Soju.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See,
So
I don't drink at all. I don't
Me
care
neither.
for it, to be honest. So if I'm at Shibuya, I'm most likely gonna be trying to get that rooftop time lapse of Shibuya to crosswalk. That's the things I want to do.
dude, that is, you will find that here, and you and I will be hitting up the famous arcades where all the
Okay.
claw machines, like they like actually work.
Yeah.
It's not like the claw machines in the States where
Mhm.
you know they don't work.
Or Taiwan, because I went to Taiwan and I spent, you know, it's like 30 cents a game, but I spent like $20 or so, and I did not win a single thing. I'm like, you guys
Dude,
got me.
I have like I have some friends who are like their house is filled with
Mm-hmm.
stuff that they've won. I only have like 3 or 4 stuff, but yeah, it's like, you know, I've spent like $5-6 on like one, and then eventually it gets in the right position
Yeah.
again. But yeah, I'm so excited to take you around, bro. It's gonna be lots of fun.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. Like you're doing really good at advertising it, but it's the truth also, you know. So
Yeah, no, I have, you know, I've had several cousins come to visit me. I had several family friends, and while I myself am not, you know, a local,
Mhm.
I'm still confident that they will have a good time, because I know every day I have a great time.
okay, yeah.
And again, I've been living here for so long.
Yeah, almost 20 years. That's pretty much a loco to me nowadays, right? Okay, so yeah, we're like near the end of this, I guess you could say.
Sure.
So yeah, something I forgot to say. Like, I don't only just want to be in Tokyo, of course. Like,
Mhm.
for a few months, I do want. That's the main city I do want to be around, like there. But you know, I want to be outside. Like, I want to go around too. That's why I was like, if I say 4 to 6 months, if I stay in Japan for 6 months, it's really like the first month in Tokyo, and then like go around the other places, check it
Yeah.
out. Probably not stay as long, because I'm pretty sure there's not as much to do compared to around the Tokyo city or like nearby. Like the other places, Okinawa and all these other islands, I want to go there for like a few weeks also to see how it's out there.
So if I may make a humble recommendation, I would definitely, like, whenever someone asks me what's like the best city to visit, especially for a content creator like yourself, I would definitely recommend Kyoto. Like, as in, if you even had the option of only being able to visit one, I would say Kyoto over Tokyo any day. Because when you think of Japan, you think of, you know, kimonos and, you know, samurai looking buildings. And so Tokyo has that, but it's from the touristy side.
Yeah.
if you go out to Kyoto, you'll see a real geisha walking down the street.
Really?
You'll see these things. I mean, just like any other cultural place, you definitely have to, like, you know, respect her job and stuff. So you can't be all up in her face. But if you have like a nice like zoom lens, you know, you can definitely respectfully snap away all of those empty streets with like Fuji in the background. Tokyo is literally the New York of the States. Building, everyone's up 24/7. Things like that. But if you want cultural Japan, if you want a scene that looks like Godzilla's gonna freaking appear, then that.
Yeah. So basically, like, if you want that Japan vibe and you want to see those actual like buildings that you see in, like, let's just say movies, you really gotta go Kyoto because it's more classic, old school, like, too, right?
Perfect. Right. That's the perfect way to put it. Classic, old school, Japan. They even have a project where they are removing all the electrical posts in the city and moving them underground to help keep that feeling of traditional Japan. Because you know, if you're taking a picture and there's a giant electrical wire in your way, it ruins the moment. Yeah. So
unless you're good at Photoshop.
I know, exactly, dude. I can't wait to see the stuff you come out with, man. I have no doubt you're gonna take some dope footage.
Hopefully, yeah. But also, Kyoto looks like a good place to drone. It's more peaceful in a way, and it's like, you know, not as many huge tall buildings out there.
Absolutely. And actually, DJI made a drone specifically for Japan. Here in Japan, you cannot, without a license, fly a drone that weighs more than 200 grams. So DJI made a Mavic Mini specifically for Japan, only for sale in Japan, and it weighs 199 grams. So when the cops pull over and they're like, hey, you can't do that, you can land it and be like, no, it says right here on the side 199. So
no license, nothing needed.
Nope, don't need it. I mean, you still have to, I mean, you're still not allowed to fly near airports, or, you know, there's still other rules, but you don't need a license to fly it.
Less stress.
Yeah, exactly, less stress.
Because whenever I'm traveling, when I'm bringing my you know, this guy's huge, you know, the Mavic 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, anywhere I go, even Vietnam, like, even going through the luggage check and security check, I'm scared they're gonna take it away, and I have to give them some money. Because you hear stories of them, people pretending like, hey, we don't know what this is, are you gonna spy, this and that, and I'm like, dang, like, I'll slip him $20 or so. But yeah, that's such a relief to hear that stuff. And, you know, Japan's more of a advanced country, so they know what these are. They can't play around like how Southeast Asia be doing.
I mean, honestly, even when I fly with my electric board, when I fly with my boosted board, as long as you separate the battery, they will look at it and they'll know, oh wow, this is an electric board. And you can ask them like, hey, could you put my board in like a box, a secure box? And they will pull out a secure box, almost like a Pelican case, and they'll put your board in there for free. So it's nice.
For where are we talking about? Oh, in the airports and stuff?
Wow. In the airport. Like, whenever I fly to a different country, or whenever I fly to Okinawa, for example, I will tell the lady, the flight attendant, or at the gate, I say, hey, can you put my board in a box? And they'll pull out a nice blue box that's secure. It's nice.
Yeah, I better be able to bring my boosted board when I'm out there, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. As long as your battery's within the, as long as your battery is less than 100 kW, but definitely look up what your airline's rules are. I know, like, for me, I fly ANA every time, and I print out the sheet in Japanese that says, hey, it's less than 99. And bam.
Yeah, all right, that's dope. Yeah, so when I'm out there, I would love that tour. I would love to take your offer on the tour.
I'm down for it, man. Yeah. Keep me posted. Let's do it. I would love to be able to. Dude, I could totally be your cameraman. I'll film you trying out everything for the first time.
We'll be doing that for each other, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and then I would love to also meet like the locals out there, just people that live in Japan. You know, that'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I will take you to the local car scene so you can see what Japan's famous for their drift cars and everything like that, for their car scene. So I will take you to the spots. I will take you to my stomping grounds and introduce you to some of the people.
Yeah, That's like Tokyo Drift and Fast and Furious, you know?
Oh, dude, yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah. So what's one thing you want to do after COVID-19's over?
I was reading this article. I don't remember who said it, but the quote stuck with me. This guy said, "It's not the friends he misses, it's the strangers." And I miss people watching. I know I am most creative when I'm sitting at a Starbucks, looking around, just watching other people work. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just grab my laptop, grab my iPad, open up Final Cut, and just go back to editing.
Yeah.
In my normal Starbucks seat with my normal barista who always writes my name in a cute little Japanese heart, and that's probably gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do. And that and just travel, man. Like you, I love to travel, but yeah, also I haven't been able to. How about you? What's your first thing for you?
I really want to go back to traveling. I miss it. I haven't traveled since August, you could say. So it's been a while for me. So that's one thing I want to do, but I don't want to do it right away, right when COVID's over. I want to wait a little for that.
Sure.
So that's really it for me. But yeah, thank you for getting on, Patrick. It was a really fun topic. Like, I was really excited for this topic, especially about Japan, a future place I plan on staying. Yeah, I appreciate it.
The pleasure is all mine. The pleasure, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for starting your awesome podcast. More power to you. And I look forward to all your other projects.
All right. Yeah. Same for yours. I'm keeping lookout, and congrats on your 1,000 subscribers. Let everyone know where they can find your social media pages also.
Yeah, so thank you. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and check out on YouTube or Instagram. You can just look up Tech Space Ninja Space Productions. So Tech Ninja Productions. And if you like what you see, and if you want to see Brian's beautiful face on future content, be sure to click subscribe and follow and all that.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you.